The ATC mission has 3 primary objectives, and each primary objective is what would normally be the primary objective for individual 40K games. We've combined several missions into one mission to try to get the best overall feel for 40K as we can, and be able to keep each round pretty simple, so you know what game you're playing every round. We use different deployment zones on every mission as well. Each deployment zone, the 3 different deployment zones, will be used twice throughout the ATC. So real quick, I will just go over that the first primary objective is the Emperor's Will. Whoever controls more of these at the end of the game gets one primary objective. The second objective is the Crusade objectives. There are 4 of these automatically in the ATC mission. Whoever controls the most of these wins this primary objective. And then you have kill points, which is pretty standard. Whoever gets the most kill points wins that primary objective. So those objectives are worth 8 points apiece. Then you have Slay the Warlord, Linebreaker, and First Blood, which is worth 2 points apiece. So your total score could be 30 points in the overall mission. In our battle reports, we use different colored arrow markers to represent what has taken place. So while we are moving around the battlefield, you can get a look and feel for exactly what went on that turn. The red arrow represents where something has fired. The X means that something took wounds. The green arrow means something moved. The blue arrow is to mark extra types of movement, like if something moves flat out, or if something moves during the assault phase as a special move there. The orange arrow represents if something is falling back, and the yellow arrow represents someone who is charging or assaulting during that phase.
Three blood crushers of corn, a soul grinder. We've got a Herald of Zinch, a Herald of Nurgle, and a Herald of Slaanesh on a steed. Have 6 Flamers of Zinch, 20 Bloodletters with the standard and the instrument, 20 Pink Horrors with the instrument, 20 Daemonettes with banner and instrument, and we have 20 Nurgle with the upgrade for the leader, and that's it in that one.
So here's my army. You have to excuse me for being a little lazy and not putting out all the orcs at once, but I've got 2 trucks full of 10 orcs, and all of my squads have a knob with power claw and a boss pole. Then I've got a battle wagon full of 20, another battle wagon full of 20, a battle wagon with 19, and this guy is he's gonna sit in and be my psyker for this game, my weird boy right here. Then I've got the Dicehead, and then I have my HQ in a battle wagon, Mega Knob, and Mega Armor War Boss there. So that's my 1850 point list. So here is the battlefield after deployment. The Orks got to choose deployment zones first, and I am definitely going to try to go first. So I've put my battle wagons here and my trucks there, trying to keep all my guys together and not get scared out too much. This is how Larry has deployed his army. And the terrain that we're playing on today was all donated to us by Battlefront for the ATC, which we appreciate very much. Some really cool terrain. It doesn't look like much from here, but when you get down on the table, it actually blocks a lot of line of sight and gives plenty of cover. For this game, I'm going to have to proxy this old mech boy for actually my weird boy. And my weird boy, he got the Warpath and the Kill Bolt psychic powers, or the Wah powers, and he also has Frazzle in addition to that. My Warlord got 2 Warlord traits because he has the Thinking Cap, and he received Prophet of the Wa and Like a Thunderbolt. So Larry's psychic powers that he received. Go ahead, Larry.
These are for the pink horrors. They got the Primaris, the Flickering Flame of Zinch, and the Bolt of Change. The Herald of Nurgle got Plague Wind, Weapon Virus, and the Primaris Nurgle's Rot. The Herald of Slaanesh got Ecstatic Seizures, Hysterical Frenzy, and Sensory Overload as the Primaris. And then the Zinch Herald took Demonology, and he got Dark Flame, Infernal Gaze, Incursion, and the Primaris power of Conjuration.
Larry's going to try to seize the initiative on me. No, no good. Okay, so here is the Orc turn 1. Just moved up. This fellow here immobilized himself on that nasty pool. And everybody here, I just put one fire marker down, shot at these guys. I hit a couple times with snapshots, rolled ones to wound each time, so typical rolling for me. And that's about it for my first turn. Okay, so my word boy got off Killboat, but it scattered off of the models, so didn't hit anything there, but he did get Warpath. I went ahead and tried for it. So if he does end up hand-to-hand during Larry's turn for some reason, everybody there will get a +1 attack that's with him. So here's Larry's first turn. You can see just moved up. And the yellow, we went ahead and placed the yellow arrows. That's where he's going to try to assault, which will take care of those moves in a minute. He was able to summon this unit of bloodletters during his psychic phase. Soul Grinder attempted to shoot one of the battle wagons, but it did not go through the armor. And we're on to Larry's assault phase. On the assault end, the Demonettes on the Steeds of Slaanesh tried to go here, and I actually killed 2 of them in Overwatch, which they did not get to make the charge because of that. Here the Blood Crushers made it into combat. Their fleet let them reroll a dice, which gave them the amount that they needed to get in there. They failed it on the initial try. These ladies did not make it into combat, and the Bloodletters did make it into combat with this truck. So Larry charged in here on this truck. He did explode it, killed 5 of my Orks. We killed how many of your Bloodletters? We killed 9 Bloodletters in the explosion. So it's kind of a fair swap, but he does get first blood out of this. Alright, the Blood Crushers charged in here. They hull pointed the battle wagon to death. And my Orks failed their pinning check, so they're pinned there. And that is the end of Larry's turn. So this is Orc turn 2. My Dicehead made it onto the field. You can see I moved around a bunch of trucks. I got out of a bunch of trucks. I'm going to try to assault. Over here, the Dicehead and the battle wagon took some shots to the Blood Crushers and destroyed, got rid of one of them, caused a wound on another one, and then I took some pot shots over here, and actually I killed one Daemonette. And the boys here took some shots into the Bloodletters, killed 2 or 3 of those guys there, and we're going to go on to my assault phase now. Okay, so here is the Orc assault phase. I made all my assaults with these new Orc rules. It's pretty nice. I was able to run and still charge. Reroll one of my reroll one of my charge distance dice because of the here we go rule. So that's really nice. These guys are going here. I'm going to try to get rid of that caster that's summoning stuff back here. This big charge, we'll see if we generate a whole bunch of blue horrors and just die horribly instead. And I also forgot to say that these guys were charging into the Blood Crushers. I didn't have them marked. So these guys are charging over the hill here. I think I've bit off way more than I could chew. When these guys start exploding, I'm told it's not going to be good for my guys. But I got 80 attacks, so it's always fun to roll that many dice. So this is the end of the Orks assault phase. Come down here, these guys, because of my warlord trait, all my guys were fearless during the turn that I called the WA. So that was helpful here because my guys didn't run when they probably should have. But we're still locked in combat here. The war boss and his mega knobs killed the blood crushers. This group of orcs killed the summon bloodletters. And this group of orcs charged over the hill. Didn't take any damage from the blue horrors. Larry rolled 2 6s for that check, and this was my armor save. It was 2 6s. So he didn't look up there, but he's got 1 pink horror left, which leaves those guys nice and ripe for the pickings of whoever might want to come in and charge them next round. In the psychic phase, the Slanesh chicks here, they did sensory overload and got a couple of guys here. From that attack, I passed my blind test, so I'm okay. And then in the shooting phase, the Warp Storm table, he got the Dark Prince Thirst and killed an orc boy here and nailed an orc knob here. With that, last turn I didn't think to mention it, but he got a 4 ward save out of that last turn, so that really helped him a lot there. So we're moving on to the rest of Larry's shooting phase. Alright, so the rest of Larry's turn, up to the assault phase anyway. This guy shot over at the Dicehead, which he made me make some jink rolls. He got a couple of hits through, but it didn't do anything. But I still am taking the penalties for jinking next turn. His Daemonettes got the charge in here. They used a banner that made my weapon skill 1 less during this assault here. His Steeds of Slanesh got their charge off here. They took a casualty coming in from Overwatch, and we're on to his assault. Anyway, I killed the leader of the squad there, but he wiped that orc squad out completely. He wiped this orc squad out completely. I did get the last flamer, or I got the last pink horror, but he wiped this unit out completely with those girls. Over here, because of the mob rule, this guy beat the other 2 orcs, or the other orc to death that was with him, but he stayed here and fought, so that's good. And that's the end of Larry's assault phase. He really turned the game around there. Turbo boosted the truck here, moved him on in the shooting phase a little farther. This unit of orcs made some pretty good ground over here. Running these guys up the hill, going to try to charge. Brought the Mega Knobs around. The Dicehead, I was originally thinking about firing over at that guy, but decided to go on the hill. And this is what I rolled with jink shots, or with snapshots, because I jinked last turn. I killed 5 of them with the Dicehead this turn. And another couple died to the battle wagons that were firing upon them, trying to whittle them down off that hill some. So we're going to go into the assault phase. Okay, in my assault phase, the Warlord successfully assaulted the Steeds and wiped them all out there, consolidated on up the hill. In this combat here, Larry killed 4, or I killed 4 and Larry killed 3, and then we just stayed here and continued fighting. So that's the end of my assault phase. So Larry deep struck his flamers in here, and he got a workflow web result, and he re-rolled it, and because of his warlord trait, and he got it again. So all of his demons only have a 6 up invul save this turn. So alright, so in the Overwatch I used my combi scorches and I killed how many? 5? Killed 5 on the Overwatch. Larry failed his charge, but because of fleet, he got to reroll a dice, and it gave him just enough to get in there. Okay, so at the end of that combat, the Orks received no wounds, and the Ork War Boss and his Mega Knobs wiped that unit out. Okay, over on this front, in the close combat phase, we both caused 2 wounds to each other, and still drawn in combat here. These guys moved on up. The Weird Boy killed 2 of the Flamers with Frazzle. Took some shots from the Mega Knobs and killed a couple more, so causing some damage to the Flamers there. This truck moved flat out 13 inches because it's got a red paint job. This truck moved on up another 6 inches, and the Dacehead did shoot and kill a couple of Nurgle Demons over here. Okay, so in the Ork turn 4 assault phase, finally got rid of these 2 bloodletters over here. Larry rolled to hit but couldn't wound, and then I failed a fear test but still stuck around and was able to get rid of them. Over here, the Mega Knobs charged in to the Flamers, wiped them out, and consolidated back. And so that's the end of that assault phase. Okay, so in Larry's turn 4, he got off the weapon virus on these guys from that handsome fellow over there. And then in the Warp Storm, the Nurgle's Rot took care of this Ork Knob over here, who survived a whole game worth of hand-to-hand just to die to Nurgle's Rot. Okay, in Larry's shooting phase, he shot over here, scattered 7 inches, and only killed 1 little Ork over here. But it's still a dead Ork. We're on to turn 5. Okay, so this is the board at my turn 5. Just moved up the hill, moved onto the fountain to get cover. Just moved around a little bit over here. I got to this objective by pushing the truck 13 inches again with the red paint job. And my shooting phase, there was nothing to shoot. Nothing happened in the psychic phase. And so we're on to Larry's turn 5. Okay, so Larry just got what, demonic possession?
Demonic possession.
Demonic possession, and he's gonna use it against my Weird Boy here. I gotta pass a leadership of 7 on 3 dice. Oh, I did it! No way! Oh, that would have been awesome. Larry moved on up here to take this objective, yelling mine when he got there. And, we're going to see if it goes to turn 6. And this was the roll to continue the game, so the game ends here at the end of turn 5. We're going to add up some points. So for the Emperor's Will, I have mine here.
I have mine here.
Larry has his Emperor's Will objective here, so we are drawn on that objective. Okay, on the Crusade objectives, I have 1, 2, 3, and this one's contested, so I get those points.
Larry got 5 kill points.
Larry got 5 kill points. I got 9 kill points, so that gives me the kill point objective.
And slay the warlord.
Okay, I got Slay the Warlord. Larry got First Blood, and nobody got Line Breaker. So that gives us a total of 22-6 with an Ork victory. Go ahead and give me a little bit of light there, man. Yeah. And this is what the table looks like at the end of the game.